lecturer in English. Now I am going to deal with a poem from Junior Enter English. The name of the poem is A Spider and a Fly, written by a famous poet, a towering personality, Don Marquis. The poem starts like this. I heard a spider and a fly arguing. Wait, said the fly. There is a silent listener to this argument, a bitter argy-bargy between the spider and a fly. We will come to know who the listener is in the later part of the poem. I heard a spider and a fly arguing. Wait, said the fly. There is a stark conflict between a spider and a fly is going on. They are arguing bitterly. Spider is about to attack the fly. Suddenly, the fly said, stop, wait. Like that, it tried to hinder the assaulting nature of the spider. Do not eat me. Don't kill me. Don't eat me. And let me speak of. Try to understand what I am going to tell you. Let me substantiate my stand, my vantage point in this argument. I serve a great purpose. I am serving a great purpose in this world. I am helping the world in numerous ways. You will have to show me, said the spider. If you are serving the world in a nobler way, and you must substantiate it, you must showcase it. The immediate response of the spider is like this. I scurry around gutters and sewers and garbage cans, said the fly, and gather up the germs of typhoid influenza and pneumonia on my feet and wings. I scurry. Scurry means move rapidly from here and there. So I scurry around sewers, garbages, gutters, all unhealthy places, unhygienic places, sewers, garbages, gutters. Gutter is a canal where slush water flows. And this sort of unhygienic places are visited regularly by the fly. The major purpose behind visiting these places is gathering up the germs, typhoid influenza, pneumonia, and all such viruses to its feet and wings. It gathers up all these germs to its feet and wings. Then I carry these germs into the households of men and give them diseases. I visit every household. I spread the diseases, and every individual gets sick of these viruses due to these germs. They become sick. They won't be in pink. They lose the soundness of body. All the people who have lived in the right sort of life recover from the diseases, and the old souls who have weakened their systems with liquor and iniquity succumb. It is my mission to help rid the world of these wicked persons. Every individual in this world will get sick of these diseases. People who resorted to the right path of living, people who are righteous, people who are sincere in their deeds, people who are in harness to morality, ethics, ethicality, self-magnified standards, and such people can recover from these illnesses. But people, and especially old souls who weaken their systems with iniquity, the word iniquity means sin or sinful nature, and old souls who have weakened their systems with liquor, or iniquity, and these people succumb to death and they die. So in this manner, I help the world to get rid of the wicked people. People of bad living are ridden away from the society. By doing all this, I am establishing a new world order. This world order demonstrates the hegemony of good over the bad, over unlawful living. So I am establishing this world order. I am a vessel of righteousness. I am like a vessel. So here we see a kind of hyperbolic statement, an exaggeration of fly. Fly is very tiny, it is small in size, and it has compared itself to a vessel, a large cargo ship, a large cargo carrier through sea lines. So I am like a vessel of righteousness. I am a vessel of ethicality, morality, standards, and lawful life. I am such a vessel. Scattering seeds of justice. I am throwing away all seeds of justice. Today they are seeds. Tomorrow they become a plant. And finally they become trees. And such trees have taken birth through seeds because I have scattered them. I have spread them across the world. I have thrown them around the world. So they establish an order of justice. So by spreading these seeds, I am abolishing, uprooting, stamping out injustice by bringing out the new world order of justice and serving the noblest uses. No one can do this sort of justice. I am establishing a society of standard laws, and these laws are applied to everyone. People of righteousness will overcome diseases or problems or injustice, and people who have resorted to bad living will succumb to death. And this sort of noblest uses are being served by me because I am a vessel of righteousness. My duty is to spread this new world order and this standard stratum of life. So, scattering seeds of justice is a kind of noblest service to society. It is true, said the spider. Oh, what you have said is true. You are serving society. You are doing noblest service. You are spreading the seeds of justice. You are like a vessel of righteousness. Okay, what you have said can be true, can be right, can be acceptable. I can approve it. It is true, said the spider, that you are more useful in a plodding material sort of way. What all you have said is nothing but a kind of materialistic activity. There is no involvement of emotionalities or egotism or egoism, right? So your actions, your deeds are showcasing materialism, not emotionalism. Then I am, but I do not serve utilitarian deities. Here utilitarian deities are none other than human beings. You are serving human beings, but I am not. You are serving a society of materialism, whereas I am not. So I contradict your argument. I contradict your vantage point, your views of philosophy, your vistas of your activities. I serve the gods of beauty. You are serving humans, whereas I am serving gods of beauty. Look at the gossamer web. I weave, they float in the sand like filaments of song. See my creations. Look at that gossamer web. How beautiful it is. I weave, they float in the sun like a filament of song. See the art which is employed in weaving the filament of that web. It is like a song which is floating in the light of sun. See, the imagery is very captivating. The usage of vocabulary is appealing our emotions. The reader's mind's eye is very insightful in learning the emotions of the poet. If you get what I mean, I do not work at anything. You are saying you work round the clock, whereas I play all the time. I do not work at all. Spider is bringing a kind of contrast between the daily activities of life and the spider itself. I play all the time. I am busy with the stuff of enchantment and materials of fairy land. My works transcend utility. See the creations of mine. They transcend utility. You cannot measure the use of my creations, the usefulness of my creations. They transcend utility. My creations are highly thought-provoking. They appeal to human life. They appeal to the life of any individual, and they give solace. They help us to get rid of all embarrassments in life. They give a kind of emotional joy in a silent dismay. Such creations are standing by the side of the spider. I am the artist, a creator, and a demigod. An artist is one who brings something new, something strange, something which is unseen, something which is unknown. Spider is saying, I'm like an artist, a creator. We can call God a creator because he creates something, or he can create anything from emptiness. And demigod means having all powers like God, having powers like a God. So I am an artist, I am a creator and a demigod. So these lines are used as a counter argument to Fly's vessel of righteousness, carrying seeds of justice and serving the noblest uses in the world. For these three lines, Spider is giving a counter attack, like I'm a creator, a demigod, and an artist. It is ridiculous to suppose that I should be denied the food I need in order to continue to create beauty. I tell you plainly, Mr. Fly, it is all damn nonsense for that food to rear up on its hind legs and say it should not be eaten. So, when I am doing such beautiful creations to enchant the gods of beauty, the metaphysical forces, divine aspects of creations. So when I am doing such beautiful, enchanting creations, I am denied to have at least bare minimum food to continue this art of beauty. Is it justice? Is it justifiable? The spider is making a stark point of argument in this context. When I am continuing this sort of divine activity, an activity which delights metaphysical forces, I am denied to have bare minimum food. So how can I continue this beautiful art of creation? Mr. Fly, plainly tell me the truth. Where is justice? You have said, I am establishing justice by scattering seeds of justice. I am a vessel of righteousness and I am serving the noblest uses. But where is justice? Where are the noblest uses? You said you are like a vessel of righteousness. Where is righteousness? I am serving the gods of beauty. You are serving utilitarian deities who are none other than human beings. So, what all you have said is materialistic. What all I have defined is spiritual aspects of God's creation. When the human beings are not emotionally happy, what all comforts, what all amenities we provide, they are futile. We can understand these issues related to human life from Spider's argument. You have convinced me, said the fly. Say no more. And shutting all his eyes, he prepared himself for dinner, and yet he said, I could have made out a case for myself too if I had had a better line of thought. The spider said, you have convinced me totally. I have been convinced totally with your argument. What you have said is ultimately true. What you have defined about justice, what you have talked of justice is true and trustworthy. And shutting all his eyes, Spider is about to shed tears. Fly could not bear with this incident. It immediately tried to console the spider by shutting all his eyes and said, I could have made a case for myself too if I had had a better line of talk. If we had had a better conversation, discourse, or a friendly talk earlier, if we had had a friendly talk or conversation earlier, you could have made a case for myself too. You could have made a beautiful gossamer case for myself too. Say yes or no, Spider. If we had been friendly earlier, you would have done this for myself too, isn't it? Tell me. Fly made a request. Of course, I could, said the spider. Why not? If we had had a good conversation, an understandable conversation earlier, why would I not make a case for you? Fly, I would certainly do it for you. Clutching a sirloin from him, sirloin, a beef meat piece. A piece of meat is nothing but sirloin. Clutching a sirloin from him. So, Spider was about to take a piece of meat from Fly. It said, yes, I would. I would have done a case for yourself too. But the end would have been just the same if neither of us had spoken at all. If we hadn't spoken properly, the end would have been the same. So the bitterness would remain. Talking to each other doesn't make any big difference. But talking to each other in an understandable manner will make a great difference. My dear Fly, this is the truth. Boss, I am afraid that what the spider said is true. Boss, in this context, dear reader, I am afraid. I am sorry. I am sorry for hindering your reading. I am sorry for stopping you amid your reading process. I am really sorry for stopping you. This is the statement and opinion of the poet. Here, the person who meddled into the talk is none other than the poet himself, Don Marquis. Boss, I am afraid. Boss, I am sorry. My dear reader, you must pardon me. You must forgive me for hindering you, for obstructing you amid your reading. That what the spider said is true. What the spider has opined is true. And it gives me to think furiously upon the futility of literature. And it gives me an opportunity to think about the supremacy of art over science and technology. Fly stands as a symbol for science and technology, whereas spider stands as an epitome for arts and literature. Art and literature appeals to the emotions of human beings, whereas science and technology, they showcase development in terms of materialism. Materialism won't give emotional solace, whereas art and literature can. So, the poet Don Marquis brings out the truth of literature. Literature and art are intransient, whereas science and technology are transient. Science serves for a temporary purpose, whereas art serves a longer purpose beyond the loss of ages. The poet makes it very clear that science and literature are temporary. Art is permanent. Art has a permanent value. Thank you. Thank you for giving me this great privilege, and I request you all to go through this beautiful poem, which is very enlightening and delightful.